Welcome to Perry Unlikely. As you can see, the water behind me, switching it up, filming outside today. You would be hard pressed to find better weather the day before Christmas. And happy holidays to everyone, regardless of whether you celebrate or not. Hopefully you are able to spend some time with your family and just enjoy life. So this video is going to be about the SundaeSwap taste test. There's a lot of confusion around it. So I looked online and I actually found an article that's excellent, really detailed. I mean, there's questions about the taste test in regards to what's it for, why are we doing it, how is it going to help to figure out what the price should be, the initial price that is, and just specifically how exactly does it work. So hopefully by the end of this video today, you will fully understand it. I did talk about it in a previous video, and I don't even think I did justice to giving a great explanation like this article that I saw did. So obviously, and I'll post a link to where you can read through the article, but we're gonna go through it and hopefully explain everything there is to know about the taste test, how it's gonna work in regards to when that starts versus the ISO and the DEX and everything about it. So what is the SundaeSwap taste test? So it's a smart contract that is meant to create the ADA/Sunday liquidity pool, which will help to set the initial price of the SundaeSwap token. Now, why would the team want to go about this way of setting that initial price, unlike in the past where many of us have seen some initial liquidity is put in, it starts off at a price and then just takes off? By the team allowing those who are contributing to the project to set the initial price, they stay away from issues with the SEC. Now, if they go in and they set the initial price and do it that way, I'm sure you've heard it by now with many projects, you run into these problems of the SEC and whether it is a security or not. So by doing it where you're able to contribute and in a way where the community sets that original price of the SundaeSwap token, you're able to hopefully mitigate and stay away from that issue of it being considered a security. Also, this is pretty much the best decentralized format to do this. Pretty much everyone who does understand Cardano understands decentralization is a part of their sole mission. So that's another piece to it. Then another reason is really trying to keep from that just initial pump and dump that we know we can associate with most projects that come out. Typically, you have this low entry point with a low price. It shoots up. And a lot of people like that, obviously, because you do get those high pumps up to high levels. But I do believe everybody understands it's all about where you get in. And I know from the videos I've done on SundaeSwap up to this point, that's been talked about in a lot of them, when to get in, because everyone understands, depending on when you get in that initial launch, you may get left holding the bag. And for the people that are able to buy in and then sell at the top or near the top, it works out well. But unfortunately for the people who get left holding the bag, they help get the price up to that level and essentially get wrecked. So the team really wants to try to keep from that happening. And a lot of people are going to feel a different type of way about that, but that is the reason why. So what happens if too many people participate in the taste test? This could still cause a problem with a dump due to the fact that if a ton of people participate in the taste test, it is going to have that initial price be overinflated likely. And whenever the price is overinflated, that's when you get a correction. And that correction would still be considered a dump. So that's what happens if too many people get into the taste test. Now, what happens if too few people get into the taste test? Well, in that event, it's going to reward those few participants with a massive amount of Sunday tokens. So the article does go on to explain it's really about finding the right balance so that the price is actually set at a reasonable place out of the gate so that it's more of a steady effect. Doesn't mean that the project won't grow. I still expect it to grow regardless of where it starts. because of its importance to the Cardano ecosystem, but it does go on to explain that it's all about finding a balance. Okay, so many questions have been around 1, the ISO, 2, the taste test, and 3, the DEX. When do they start? How does it work? Now that really is the core of what everyone's trying to get an understanding of, so let's get into that. On launch day, the taste test and the ISO will go live. The taste test will last 10 days and the ISO will last 25 days or 5 epochs. So you can figure it that an epoch lasts about 5 days. The taste test will get 7% of the public tokens, which is 140 million, and the ISO will get 5% of the public tokens, which is 100 million. 140 million taste test Sunday tokens will be minted to track the contributions of the tokens. Now stick with me on this because I really want you to be able to understand this. Now remember, this is a liquidity pool, and I've spoken in other videos about how the liquidity pool is equal sides. So you're going to have equal amounts of ADA on this side as you do the Sunday tokens. So due to that 140 million Sunday tokens will make up 50% of that pool. So that is 50%, and on the other side you're going to have the ADA that is equal to it. Now the ADA portion of the pool, which is the other 50%, is going to also receive taste test ADA, which will be a 1-to-1 ratio to the ADA that you contribute into the pool for the taste test. Now let's simplify this even more. Let's say that one person added one single ADA to the taste test and no one else joined. That person would be rewarded 70 million Sunday tokens. That's if no one else joined, the ratio would end up that way. They would receive 70 million Sunday tokens. As more people add ADA to the pool, that number of Sunday tokens that gets rewarded gets lower. You are going to be given those taste test ADA to represent the actual ADA that you contributed into the pool. Now, as far as the ratio that's going to show how that price is made up, that's not going to be hidden. You're actually going to be able to see what the contributions are into the pool. That is another way how you're going to be able to assess whether you think the price is overpriced or not. So you are going to be able to see that and what is being contributed to that liquidity pool. People are going to be able to add and remove the ADA from the pool, and that's because it's going to run for 10 days. So you're going to see it changing. It's not going to just stay the same or just keep going up. You'll be able to remove it as well. You may think, oh man, it's overpriced, I'm going to remove it from the pool, and you'll be able to do that. If you're currently in one of those 30 pools for the ISO, right now you are currently still getting your ADA rewards that you would have gotten if you were in any other pool. Now, when the ISO goes live, day 1, you will start to receive those Sunday token rewards on top of the ADA rewards that you're already getting. So you will get both of them, but you won't get those until it actually goes live. So I just wanted to clarify that. There are some equations that are in the article that he goes on to show with a response from the lead developer. And he does explain that those numbers, because people didn't understand where they came from, are mostly arbitrary. If you want to get into that, you do need to read it and get some understanding of it. But I'm going to put that article down there so you can do so. But I did just want to touch on that really quickly. Now let's look a little closer at the numbers in terms of what it would take to reach a certain market cap for the initial price of SundaeSwap. Using the provided equation models with our known Sunday token supplies, we can now get the needed ADA pairs for desired prices and market caps at launch. And as I've said in several videos, it just comes down to the math and how much is put in. So in order for the price of 0.08 cent at launch, I've seen this number thrown around a lot, meaning we would need a ratio of 0.012771429 taste test ADA to 0.1596 0.4285 taste test Sunday. And that is how you would come out to equal that 0.08 cent at the time of the launch. And this times a circulating supply of 240 million would put the starting market cap at 19.2 million. By the way, that's a pretty big market cap for beginning. It's actually massive for starting out anyway. So as you can see, as far as with the math, it's really about that equation that helps you to figure out kind of what that market cap would be. This is just an example. We still don't know how much ADA will go into the taste test. That can't be answered until it's actually live. And as far as some other questions that people have had, I do want to answer one as far as with it being in the taste test and the ISO. Now you can participate in both, but they're with different ADA. You can't have the same ADA in both. So if you want to participate in the taste test, you're going to have some allocated for that, the same as you're going to have some allocated for the ISO. So I want to make sure that everyone understands that. So what happens when the taste test is over? Now remember, you put your ADA into it, and you're a firm believer, and at that point you didn't remove it, so you like where the price is at. You are going to receive a portion of ADA and a portion of SundaeSwap tokens back. You don't get all that ADA back. You get SundaeSwap tokens, this is a liquidity pool, and you get ADA back. So keep that in mind. That's why you want to determine yourself, do you think it's overpriced or not? So that's something to keep in mind. Now that doesn't solve whether it will dump. You've got to have some guts about you if you think that's the best way to get into it. But I want to clarify that. And just to reiterate, the estimate and the calculations done are off of what the circulating supply is going to be at launch, and that is 240 million Sunday tokens. Whenever you're trying to figure out what the valuation is on price, it's going to be based off of circulating supply. That's exactly why, as new coins do come on the market, they push that price down if there's not enough buyers to purchase it. So that is off of that 240 million tokens. That will be the initial circulating supply. I hope this answers some of your questions, at least about the taste test. What's it for? How is it going to work? Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. Before you invest in anything, make sure that you do your own research. I'm going to put links to this article in the description. Really go check it out. They ask some other questions, so it's good that you check it out, and it may answer some questions that you have. But the main thing, I just wanted to add more information out there because I know people are searching for answers. Thank you. Hit the like. Do me a favor. It really helps the YouTube algorithm. Leave a comment. That helps as well. Always enjoy the back and forth. If you want to stay up to date on the latest content that I drop, hit the bell for notification. And thank you for watching Perry Unlikely, and I will see you next time.